The day I finalize my divorce, a car crash sends us both back 20 years. I think it's a gift from heaven, a second chance to finally break free from the woman who has suffocated me for half my life. But that same night, at a college mixer, I walk straight into her gaze, that half-smiling, half-mocking look. To stay away from her, I chase the one that got away. But when I watch her throw herself, red-eyed, into the arms of the most popular guy on campus, something inside me twists in a way it has no right to. The neon lights in the karaoke private room are blinding, the music deafening, pounding in my skull. Press my fingers against my throbbing temples and look out at the crowd. These bright-eyed freshmen glowing with youth. It takes me a long moment to accept the truth. I've been reborn. Just hours ago, I walked out of the courthouse with Liana, the divorce papers burning in my hand. 20 years of marriage draining every last drop of patience and love between us, turning what was once starlight into nothing but contempt. Ethan, snap out of it. It's the mystery item game. Marcus, my best friend, gives me an excited shove. His eyes are glued to the pile of personal items the girls have turned in. The mystery item pairing game works like this. Each guy picks an item at random, and whoever it belongs to becomes his partner for the night's games. It's basically a blind date mixer. I follow Marcus's gaze, and my heart slams to a stop. The girl sitting in the corner of the sofa in a plain white tee and jeans, her cold and proud feature still striking even in the dim light. Liana Liu. I would know her if she were Ash. In my past life, Marcus picked her roommate's lipstick at this exact moment. He became a total simp for that two-faced girl and lost everything. His money, his dignity, and finally his life. As for me, I grabbed Liana's silver bracelet to a chorus of cheers and launched 20 years of misery. Not this time. I watch Marcus rub his hands together, reaching for that deadly lipstick, and I grab his wrist. I steer him toward a pink hair clip instead. Marcus, I think that one's got your name on it. He looks baffled, but he trusts me enough to pick it up without question. I let out a long breath. Marcus's fate is changed. On the table, only two items remain: a lipstick and a worn red string. To avoid Liana's silver bracelet at all costs, I reach out without hesitation and grab red string. Ooh, Ethan picked the red string. Who does it belong to? The crowd starts buzzing. I smirk in Liana's direction, already enjoying the thought of watching her get paired with someone else. Then Liana slowly rises from her seat. Her deep, dark eyes lock onto mine. The corner of her mouth curls into something unreadable. That's mine? Her voice is cool and quiet, but it hits me like a thunderbolt. I freeze. My mind goes blank. What? In my past life, her item was the silver bracelet. Why is it the red string now? Could it be the butterfly effect? Triggered by my interference, I watch her walk toward me step by step. Her eyes hold 1,000 unspoken things and something that feels almost like scrutiny. My stomach drops. A wild thought flashes through me. Has she been reborn too? No, impossible. I force myself to stay calm. If she had been reborn, someone as proud as her would have stayed as far from me as possible. There is no way she would claim this red string. I draw a slow breath, bury the panic rising in my chest, and put on my most indifferent, detached expression. You look like someone who should be focusing on her studies. College is for building a future, not chasing romance. Skip these parties. Go to the library. Unless you want to spend your life revolving around some guy. I ignore the stunned silence that fills the room and don't look at the color draining from Liana's face. I turn and walk out of the room. This second life is mine. I refuse to repeat the same mistakes. Outside the karaoke bar, the cool night air clears my head. The tension in my chest loosens just a little. If fate has given me a second chance, I'm not just chasing money. I'm fixing my biggest regret. Sophie Sue is the most popular girl in our department, and the one that got away in my past life. Gentle, warm, and understanding, she was the complete opposite of Liana. Explosive, controlling, suffocating. In my past life, dating Liana meant I had to bury that feeling for Sophie alive. During every brutal fight in our marriage, I would think desperately, what if I had chosen Sophie instead? Would my life have fallen apart like this? The thought pushes me forward. I pick up my pace, relying on memory, heading toward the campus lake. I remember that in the first days of freshman year, Sophie came here every evening to study vocabulary. Sure enough, under the willow tree by the lake, I spot a slender figure in a white dress with her back to me. I straighten my shirt, put on what I hope is a mature, confident smile, and walk over. With 20 extra years of experience behind me, I break through Sophie's defenses quickly, making her laugh behind her hand. I even get her number. Ethan, you're so different from other guys. Her face flushes as her eyes sparkle. I'm just about to press my advantage when the corner of my eye catches a lone figure under a distant street lamp. It's Liana. I don't know how long she's been standing there. The night breeze tangles her hair, the dim yellow light falls across her face, and I can clearly see the tears glinting at the corners of her eyes. My heart clenches without permission. Even though I've sworn to cut all ties with her, even though I've cursed her name 1,000 times in my head, seeing her look at me with those shattered, desperate eyes, watching me flirt with another girl, my traitorous instincts send a wave of suffocating pain through my chest. 20 years as husband and wife. The things carved into your bones don't disappear with one word, but I force my jaw tight and drag my gaze away. I turn back to Sophie and keep the conversation going. I cannot soften. If I do, I'll fall back into that bottomless pit. Liana stares at my unmoved back. The last light in her eyes goes completely dark. She spins around and stumbles out toward the campus gate. As she crosses an intersection, a sleek black Maybach pulls up beside her. The window rolls down, revealing a handsome face full of arrogant charm. Lance Lynn, campus heartthrob and notorious rich kid. In my past life, Lance had chased Liana relentlessly, but because she was with me, she shut him down flat, even threw a drink in his face in front of everyone, leaving him humiliated. Now, Liana's face is streaked with tears. She looks like a lost fawn. Lance Lance hesitates. Instead of his usual teasing remark, he quietly reaches out with a tissue. Then he opens the door. Get in, I'll take you for a drive. I watch the Maybach disappear into the night. I'm still standing by the lake, Sophie's number in my hand, but my chest feels like it's been stuffed with a waterlogged sponge, heavy and suffocating. The next day, I'm in my dorm room, plotting how to use my memories from my past life to make a fortune in the stock market. When the door is shoved open, Liana stands in the doorway, eyes swollen like she hasn't slept. Obviously, she's been up all night. Marcus and the others take one look and quietly slip out. The door clicks shut behind them, just the two of us. The silence presses down. You came back from the same moment too, didn't you? Liana stares at me, her voice raw and terrible, but with a tremor underneath. Barely concealed hope. My hand holding the pen goes still. I already suspected it last night when she claimed the red string, but I don't look up. I just give a cold flat, The moment I confirm it, Liana's tears break free. She lunges at me, seizing my arm with both hands, clinging to me like I'm the last lifeline she has. Ethan, can we go back? I miss Nana. Our daughter's only 5 years old. If neither of us is there, what's going to happen to her? Please, let's find a way back together. The name Nana hits me like a knife blade through the heart. The pain is almost unbearable. She is the daughter I held like the most precious thing in the world. But the moment I think about the endless darkness of those fights in my past life, the hysteria, the obsessive control, the half a lifetime I spent stripped of all dignity, the fear and revulsion in my bones wins out. I pry her fingers off me, one by one. My eyes go cold aces. There's no going back, Liana. If fate sent us back, it's to start over. Our marriage was a mistake. I'm not making that mistake again. A mistake? She stares at me like I'm a stranger, stepping back twice. 20 years and everything we had. Just a mistake? I force myself to harden my heart, refusing to look at her breaking apart. We go our separate ways. You go to Lance, I'll go to Sophie. We stay out of each other's lives. I don't wait for her response. I turn and walk out fast, like something is chasing me. Only I know how badly my hands are shaking. With that, I shatter the last illusion Liana had been holding on to. If I can be that cold, she refuses to keep swallowing her pride. That night, she puts on a devastatingly hot red slip dress, 4-inch heels, flawless makeup, and walks out of the girls' dorm. She's made plans with Lance at the most upscale bar in the city. I'm at the street food stalls near campus with Marcus when I look up and see her, blazing like a flame. She has never dressed like this in front of me. As she steps off the curb toward Lance's Maybach, her ankle rolls, probably unsteady in those heels. She pitches forward. Lance, waiting by the car, catches her with perfect timing. Liana doesn't pull away. Instead, she leans into his chest and tilts her head, her gaze cutting straight through the crowd and landing directly on me. In her eyes, the satisfaction of revenge and absolute finality. Snap. I crush the bamboo skewer in my hand, the sharp splinter driving into my palm, drawing blood. I don't feel a thing. That night, the splinter from the street food stall tears open my palm and kills the last soft spot I had for Liana. To hell with love. I have a second life, and I'm going to make it count. The next morning, I splash cold water on my face and head straight to a brokerage in the city. Even though my marriage had crushed me in my past life, my instincts for business never died. I remember clearly this week, a rocket stock called Donghua Techis, about to hit its trading limits for over 10 consecutive days after a sudden patent acquisition deal. I take every yuan in my account, borrow living expenses from Marcus and the others, and go all in. For the next few days, I skip every class I, stare at the candlestick charts on my screen, red climbing. In just 1 week, my money snowballs at a speed that feels almost violent. When I sell at the peak, I stare at that long string of zeros in my account and let out a long, slow breath. 10 million. My first fortune in this second life. With money behind me, I walk across campus and feel a new weight in my stride that wasn't there before. I'm almost at the lecture building when a sweet perfume floats over. Ethan, where have you been? You missed all your classes. I brought you milk tea. Sophie is in a whitsun dress, smiling as she holds out a warm cup, her eyes soft with concern. In my past life, I would have been floored. Now I just feel vaguely sick. I'm about to wave it off when her phone buzzes in her pocket. She glances at the screen, and in that split second of brightness, my sharp eyes catch the message clearly. Contact saved as finance debt. Zhang. The message reads, "Babe, come for a drive tonight. Got you the new bag." Sophie's fingers fly across the screen. She types back, "Sounds fun, thanks, but I need to study tonight so I can only stay a little while." She hits send. She looks back up at me with that picture-perfect innocent smile. "Ethan, what are you staring at?" My stomach turns. "Nothing. Just realized the milk tea looks disgusting." I give a cold laugh and walk straight past her. "Ethan, what is that supposed to mean?" Sophie stomps her foot behind me. I don't even look back. The illusion I had built around her for 20 years shatters to dust. She was never some pure, gentle girl, just a very high-level player. I leave Sophie behind and take a cab straight to the west side. With 10 million, I finally have the qualifications to bid on an abandoned factory lot out there. My memories from my past life tell me the city will announce a new development plan next month. That land is about to become the heart of a new commercial district, worth at least 10 times what it is now. I walk into the bidding center with my proposal, long strides full of purpose. I push open the second-floor conference room door, and the confidence on my face turns to stone. The room is not full of the real estate sharks I expected. At the head of the long table sits a woman in a sharp black blazer, hair pinned back, red lips like a flame, eyes ice cold, Liana Liu. And the untouchable rich kid Lance is standing there like an obedient assistant behind her, flipping through her documents. My mind goes blank. What is going on? Wasn't she supposed to be with Lance last night? Wasn't she supposed to be falling apart? Surprised? Liana slowly raises Harry's with that half-smiling look. I pull out a chair and sit down. I stare at her. What are you doing here? Bidding, obviously. Her slender fingers tap the table. And teaching you what it means when business is a battlefield. On what grounds? I shoot back. Lance cuts in from behind her. Ethan, show some respect. Liana is the Lynn Group's special project consultant. This entire bid is under her authority. The pieces click into place. She was never dating Lance. That night, throwing herself into his arms, it was all for my eyes. She was using it as an opportunity to get close to the Lynn family and use their credentials to get a seat at this bidding table. This woman played me completely. Lance, would you mind stepping out? I'd like a word alone with Mr. Shu. Liana says it without even glancing at him. Lance blinks and actually obeys, pulling the door shut behind him. Just the two of us. I pull in a slow breath, forcing down my shock, and slam my bid proposal on the table. Liana, you think bringing in the Lynn family is enough to beat me? This land is mine? Is that so? The corner of her mouth curves with cold amusement. She picks up a document and slides it smoothly across the table. Read it first. I pick it up with a frown. I flip to the first page, one glance, and my blood turns to ice. It's a pricing sheet. The final floor price reads 10,010,100 yuan. My own bid was 10,010,000 yuan. She beat me by 100% yuan. I snap my head up and stare at her like she's not human. Liana slowly rises, both hands braced on the table, looking down at me. Her red lips part. Mr. Shu, better luck next time. I grip that sheet of paper until my knuckles go white. How did she know my floor price? That number, 10,010,100, rings in my head like a slap across the face. It haunts me for days. I lost to Liana. For days I've been scrambling, searching for another angle on the West Side project, even showing up to the freshman welcome show. Something I would have skipped in a heartbeat if our advisor hadn't made it mandatory and Marcus hadn't dragged me here himself. I've just come from a meeting at the bank, so I'm still in a tailored charcoal suit, completely out of place among the t-shirts and jeans. Ethan, why are you dressed like you're at a job interview? Marcus is sprawled in a folding chair, a handful of sunflower seeds in his fist, eyes locked on the stage. I tug at my tie, laugh under my breath. Making money. Not that a single guy like you who only cares about pretty girls would understand. Please. Pretty girls beat money any day. Marcus points excitedly at the stage. Look. Sophie's up. She's hosting tonight, and that outfit is incredible. I follow his finger. Sophie is in a pink tulle dress, mic in hand, announcing with a sweet smile. But all I can see when I look at that innocent face is her fingers flying across the screen while she strung along two guys at once. Disgusting. I slouch back in my seat, about to close my eyes, when I catch a glimpse of the backstage area off to the side. Sophie has just stepped off. In a dim corner away from the lights, she's whispering to a senior student in charge of wardrobe. I notice something in her hand, a flash of metal, like a small pair of scissors. Then, under the pretense of fixing a garment, her hands move quickly along the strap of a hanging black dress. My eyes narrow. What is she plotting now? And now, the highlight of tonight's show. Presented by the Fashion Design Society, or Runway Finale, the male MC announces from the stage. Driving music fills the entire hall, spotlights blazing in every color, tall girls walking the runway one by one. Whistles break out across the audience. Then the beat drops into something heavy and hypnotic. A single cold white spotlight snaps onto the center of the stage. The room holds its breath for one full second. Then the crowd erupts. Liana. She's wearing a black couture gown, 4-inch stilettos, walking out of the shadows and into the light like a queen surveying her domain. Cold, devastating, untouchable. The gown is daring, the open back tracing every line of her figure with brutal precision, held up by nothing but two razor-thin straps. I'm sitting in the front row watching that woman blazing under the lights, feeling everything and nothing all at once. 20 years. I know her too well. All she has to do is stand there and she steals the air from every person in the room. Off to the side of the stage, Sophie can barely contain the envy on her face. Her eyes lock onto Liana's straps. A vicious smile creeps across her lips. Just as Liana reaches the front of the stage, ready to pose, a tiny sound tears through the silence of the hall, amplified into something enormous. The right strap of Liana's gown snaps without warning. The black fabric loses all support and begins to slide down her bare shoulder. 2 more inches and she'll be completely exposed in front of the entire school. The room erupts into chaos. Girls in the front rows scream. Some guys go wide-eyed. Others reach for their phones, ready to record. In that moment, my mind goes blank. My rational brain says, let her fall. She stole your land. She plays dirty. Let her be humiliated. Let her be destroyed. But my body is already moving, completely beyond reason. 20 years of marriage. The instincts burned into your bones are faster than any thought. In the fraction of a second, the strap breaks. I kick my chair back, launching myself forward like a leopard. Ethan, where are you going? Marcus shouts behind me. I don't hear him. I plant one hand on the edge of the stage and vault up clean. In front of thousands of stunned eyes, I stride toward her, pulling off my charcoal suit jacket in one motion. Liana freezes, face white, both hands clutching the fabric to her chest. Those eyes that are always so proud, now raw with terror and helplessness. Just as she is about to break, my jacket, still warm from my body, cuts through the air and lands firmly over her shoulders. I step behind her, my left arm reaching around the outside of the jacket, pulling her waist close. The instant we touch, we both shudder. Too familiar. This exact pressure, this exact angle, the countless nights we spent like this have left something terrifying in our muscle memory. Don't be afraid. Head up. I breathe it low against her ear. Liana's body relaxes instantly. She doesn't look back. She doesn't fight it. She just turns her face slightly and meets my eyes with a sidelong glance. Just one look. No words needed. No rehearsal required. The baseline crashes back down. I hold her waist tight. She wears my oversized jacket like a cape. We step forward at the exact same moment, stride perfectly matched, presence fusing into one. The black gown and the charcoal suit. Brutal contrast. She is sharp and dangerous. I am still and solid. We turn, walk, and hold our marks under the spotlights, every movement charged with a raw electric tension, as if this is not an accident but a perfectly choreographed power couple showcase. The silence in the hall lasts exactly 3 seconds. Then it explodes, screaming and applause 10 times louder than before. Was that planned? Who is that guy? He matches her completely. I scan the audience coldly, eyes finding Sophie at the edge of the curtain. Her face has gone a shade of green. Jealousy and rage twist her features, her nails digging into the prop box beside her, like she wants to tear me apart. You tried to sabotage her. Too bad. You didn't just fail. You forced out the instinct carved into our bones. The runway ends. I walk Liana off to thundering applause. The moment we step into the dark backstage corridor, the noise cuts off like a wall. The woman who had just moved with me so perfectly suddenly jerks free of my arm like she's been shocked. She presses her back to the cold wall, hands clutching my jacket tight, eyes instantly cold and closed off again. Show's over, Mr. Shu. Her voice is like broken ice. I stare at my empty hand. A flicker of something hollow passes through me, then hardens into anger. Liana, could you at least acknowledge that I just saved you? Saved me? She gives a cold laugh, pulls a folded document from her bag, and slaps it against my chest without ceremony. Don't think I don't know what you're calculating. This is a profit-sharing agreement. Read it. I catch it on instinct. I glance down. The cover reads clearly West Side Project. What is this? I look up fast, eyes locked on her. I secured the West Side lot, but the Lin Group doesn't have the construction crews or the supply chains. You do. Liana tilts her chin up slightly, eyes sharp as a blade. 50-50 split. Do you dare sign? I inhale sharply. She didn't just outmaneuver Lance. She outmaneuvered me, and she already knows my next move. Why would I sign? I grip the agreement tight. You stole my floor price and now you come here offering me charity? Liana takes a slow step closer. In the dim corridor, that familiar cold scent of hers drifts straight toward me, getting under my skin. Her red lips almost brush my ear. Her voice is barely above a whisper, but it detonates in my chest like a grenade. Ethan, you'd better sign. And one more thing. She pauses, her tone carrying an unsettling certainty. Don't think I don't know about you secretly moving your assets into an offshore trust fund behind my back. Who exactly are you hiding from? What are you covering up? My pupil's contract. My heart feels like an invisible hand has closed around it. That was the darkest secret of my past life. What has she found? I open my mouth, but Liana is already standing straight, adjusting my jacket over her shoulders, turning her back to me with finality. Tomorrow, 10 in the morning, bring the signed agreement. I won't wait. Her heels click down the corridor and she disappears into the dark. I lean against the wall. Cold sweat soaks through my shirt. This second life is no longer in my hands. 3 days after the West Side deal is finalized, the Lin Group rents out the entire top floor of Royal One Club for a celebration. Asta Project's silent partner. I skip it, but the private investigator I hired has already embedded himself as a waiter in the club, watching that private room closely. At 9:30 at night, my phone blows up. Mr. Shu, something's wrong. Lance spiked Miss Lu champagne. He's cleared everyone else out. Right now, it's just the two of them in there. The words hit me like a flashbang. White-hot rage surges to the top of my skull. That idiot, Lance finally realizes he's been used. Liana stripped the Lin Group's credentials from the deal, and the real profits all flowed to her and me. The Lin family walked away with nothing. Humiliated and furious, unable to beat her in the open, he resorts to something despicable. Lock down that door. Anyone tries to get in, you hit them with a bottle. I'm there in 5. I growl it into the phone, grab my keys, and bolt out the door. I run 4 red lights straight, the Maybach engine roaring through the empty streets like a beast. I grip the wheel with both hands, knuckles white, heart slamming against my ribs. 20 years of marriage. I know Liana. That woman is proud to her core. If a piece of trash like Lance uses something like this to destroy her, she won't survive it. Tires screech at the club entrance. I leave the car door swinging open, charging into the lobby like a man on fire, shoving aside the security guard who stepped in my way, and heading straight for the private elevator. It opens. Top floor. At the end of the corridor, outside the Imperial Suite, my private investigator is braced against the door, wrestling with 2 of Lance's bodyguards. Back off! I bellow, closing the distance in 3 strides. I drive my foot into the chest of one bodyguard who grunts and slams back into the wall. The second one hasn't even reacted when my fist connects with his face. He crumples. I step back, use the momentum of my charge, and raise my right leg and drive it into the heavy carved wooden double doors with everything I have. A thunderous crash. The lock shatters. Both doors explode inward and crack against the wall. What I see sears into my eyes. In the low light, Liana is slumped on a wide leather sofa. Her signature black blazer torn and disordered, her skin exposed, her eyes are unfocused, her face flushed in a way that is clearly not normal. Both hands are clawing at her collar with the last of her strength, biting down so hard on her own lip that blood runs down her chin, horrifying to see. And Lance, that animal, is above her with a twisted grin, one hand pinning her shoulder, the other moving toward her belt. You scheming little? You think you can use me? Today I'll show you what happens to people who play the Lin family. Lance snarls, completely unaware that death is standing right behind him. My eyes go bloodshot. A sound tears out of my throat, barely human. Without a second's hesitation, I grab an unopened bottle of Royal Salute off the coffee table, step to the sofa in one stride, left hand seizing Lance by the hair and wrenching him back with full force. Lance lets out a cry, forced to look up into my eyes that want to end him. Ethan, what the? He doesn't finish. My right hand brings the bottle down with a vicious arc without mercy, not aimed at his head, but at the right hand that had been holding Liana down. The sound of bone cracking and glass shattering hits at the same instant. The bottle explodes against Lance's wrist. Amber liquor and blood spray across the floor. My hand! Lance shrieks like a slaughtered animal, rolling off the sofa onto the carpet, clutching his mangled right hand, writhing in agony. I keep my face stone cold and plant my shoe directly on that broken hand, pressing down. Ah! Ethan, I'll kill you. I'll kill your whole family, Lance screams, face twisted in agony. Then, from the corridor outside, a storm of footsteps. 7 or 8 bodyguards in black suits flood into the room, surrounding me on every side. The lead bodyguard takes one look at Lance on the floor and his face goes white. Destroy him! I face 7 of them without flinching. I lift my foot off Lance's hand, calm and deliberate, reach into my inner jacket pocket and pull out a small black USB drive. I toss it casually onto the glass-strewn coffee table. It makes a sharp little click. The room goes quiet. Ethan, you are dead. You are not walking out of here alive. Lance is hauled upright by a bodyguard, face covered in blood,